All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarah Soon said he kicked back. Get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to not only the Sarah Soon Seti YouTube page, but the General Seti YouTube page, two dynamic institutions of Black knowledge, awareness, education, culture, history, politics. We dealing with the whole spectrum. You should subscribe immediately. Don't hesitate. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe immediately. We have memberships for the family, both pages. There's a link to the memberships right there in the chat. All you have to do is just click it. You'll get a video introduction rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarah Soon Seti General Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. Ring the alarm, kingseti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarah Soon Seti DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. I got something for your family. I know you're going to like it and love it. Get over there, get the discount, shop and save. Save and shop. Pull the fire alarm. GeneralSeti.com, SETI University, over 2,500 videos, 40 different subjects, all the subjects that you know and love from the general. We talking about the Too Raw for YouTube, the Making of the White Man, Holiday, Holocaust. We even got Holiday, Holocaust, Black Illuminati, Hip Hop Occult, Freemasonry Exposed, Metaphysical Alchemy, Gnostic teachings, Kabbalism, Sufism. We deal with all the occult information. It goes on and on and on. Old Mecca, Voyages of the Nile, Ancient America, the Black presence here for thousands and thousands of years. We're talking about all over the world, the global Kushite Empire, history. We got the past, the future, the now. You see, we got the past, the now, and the future. You need to get over there. There's no other website nowhere on the planet that can compare, compete, become a member today. And everybody knows SETI popping on Patreon, BPC making noise. We never come. Exclusive live stream, too hot for YouTube, but just so exquisite. We keep it for our family on Patreon. We want you to get over there. Over 500 exclusive live streams, and I've got two I just dropped last night where we dealing with Narmer, the first king of Egypt, the king that started it all, man, and the greatness of the very first dynasty that is mind-blowing with overwhelming artifacts. You don't find that nowhere in the world, where the earliest king, the very first king, is heavily documented with all type of artifacts and stone relics of great note, tombs, with magnificent tombs in the very first dynasty. This is unprecedented. You need to get over there and see that, family, because it is mind-blowing. To all the family out there that donated to the brother, the General Sarah Soon Seti, I thank you so greatly. And to all the family out there would like to donate to the hardworking general right here, the link is on the screen, is in the video description and chat. Click it, donate, and I thank you. I appreciate you so much. And make sure you subscribe right now to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarah Soon Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment, comment, comment. Just don't say nothing stupid, because I will ban your ass. Mexican cartels have turned U.S. cities into dope dens. Zombie cities. You see, taking out over the last, 50 years, taking out millions of our people. You see, taking out millions of our people. And we got to say, and listen here, this is for our benefit. If nobody gonna tell you, somebody got to tell you. You see, to lead this shit like here and allow these people continue, and you don't put up no type of front to block this assault on the Black community, then goddamn it, you are setting your people up to be the cities to be a slaughterhouse in a critical time when we need to be getting our shit together. The world is in turmoil, and every day is like you don't know what the fuck could happen now. You see, is everything is upside down, and everybody is trying to find a place in the world, and we need to be doing the same. You see, and we need to be looking out for self first only, because ain't nobody ever looked out for us. No way, no how have they ever looked out for us. And so I'm sick of motherfuckers acting like, this one little friend that they got speak for the whole goddamn race. The majority of them are against us. They trying to be number one for their own race, their own people. They not trying to share no power. They not trying to share first place with you. You the only fool to believe in some shit like that. You see? And so we don't believe in attacking nobody. We don't believe going in nobody else's community, trying to overtake their economy, overtake their religious and spiritual beliefs, overtake their culture. We stay right here in our own, and we practice self-preservation in our own. That's the best we could do. That we can't hold nobody hands. We're not pretending to hold nobody hands. If you are in 2025, you should possess all the attributes of civilization, and you should be able to carry yourself across the finish line. And so we're not holding nobody hand. We're not doing none of that. Stand up and be a goddamn people. Stand up and be a man and be a woman for your own goddamn people. We're not holding nobody hands. Okay, so all this, man, these false mentalities where black people got to partake in protesting for somebody else that ain't never goddamn protested for us. You understand? I don't want to see that fake shit. I want to talk about these drug cartels that been bringing billions and trillions of dollars worth of dope into our community. All the caskets that been filled up over the last 50 years. I don't want to hear that bullshit. I don't want to hear none of it. I don't want to hear a goddamn word of none of that bullshit coming out y'all mouth. You see what I'm saying? We didn't see the casket. We can look at the deplorable cities, where we live, and we can see. I mean, I speak for Detroit. I remember when Detroit, certain blocks. I remember when all the houses was on that block. I remember you can ride down certain, and you can go from, you got major streets, and then you got side streets. I remember you could ride down a side street from major street to, you got a street in Detroit called Jefferson. You can ride from Jefferson down one street and come to Warren. You see, and you won't miss you wouldn't see not one empty lot. And now you could ride down them same motherfucking streets, and you can come on some of them, and it's no house on the whole goddamn block. And I'm telling you, I counted the houses one time. See, you got certain streets in Detroit, man, where it's at least 150 houses on the block. It could be 75 and some longer than that. 75 on one side, 75 on the other. Man, listen here. It had got to the point where out of that 150, it might have been 1, 2, 3, 5 on each side. 5 on each side out of 150 goddamn houses. See, so when you look at them, when the crack epidemic came into America, man, that shit was worse than a goddamn man, more devastating than goddamn. It's like you dropped an atomic bomb on every urban community in the United States. That's how devastating it was. That's how devastating. And when you think about how many people they lost in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they say, well, maybe they lost 100,000 or 200,000. And you think of certain cities like they've been going through this dope shit for the last 50 years. I'm talking about when I was in elementary school, they was already doing goddamn, they was having, classes and shit where they was telling us about the dope shit that was out on the streets, even in the elementary school. I wouldn't know. I was probably in the 4th grade, and I'm sitting here going through a class on how they try to get the young boys and shit to sell dope in Detroit and this, that, and the third, because they had gangs called Young Boys Incorporated. So it was already thick when I was in elementary school. It was already thick. You feel what I'm saying? And to the cloud of death that was over the city, to where a motherfucker didn't even want to come out, didn't even want to ride a bike and shit, and this, that, and the third. We got to understand who brought these cities to their knees like that. You see, who brought the city? And so, and so you rather blame the victims and shit instead of cutting this shit off at the source. And so now, if you didn't know this, then you should do some research. We talking about the Iran-Contra affair. There's a lot of information up there about that. The Iran-Contra affair under Ronald Reagan. I believe that was Ronald Reagan. Where is that at? I mean, I just had this up here, and the shit just did. Oh, here it go right here. The Iran-Contra affair was a political scandal in the United States that involved arms trafficking and cocaine trafficking. The scandal occurred during the Reagan administration. So it happened under Ronald Reagan. Okay, and so cocaine trafficking in 1986, the Associated Press reported that the FBI was investigating cocaine trafficking by the Contras. So what they was doing in order to get money, to buy missiles and shit, because they was fighting a war over there in Iran, they was allowing the cartels to sell dope in the United States, getting money off of it. You see, they getting a cut off of this shit so they can buy missiles over there. This is exactly, go look this shit up. The Ronald Reagan administration released a report that acknowledged some connections with the Contras and cocaine trafficking in 1984 or 1985. So it might have been the goddamn government actually bought the goddamn dope from the Contras, and they probably cooked it, rocked it, and chopped it. You see what I'm saying? Journalist Gary Webb wrote a book, 1998, the book called Dark Alliance, the CIA, the Contra, and the crack cocaine explosion. The book claimed that the CIA supported, listen to me, cocaine trafficking by the Contras to raise funds for the Sandinista rebels in Nicaragua. Webb's book also claimed that this trafficking led to the crack epidemic in Los Angeles. And from there, it went all over the goddamn United States. You see, so listen, so these motherfuckers, Ronald Reagan, Oliver North, what's that other motherfucker who was the Weiner, okay, who was the Secretary of, I believe, State. Okay, again, right here, Iran-Contra affair. So you see, they see, but see, nobody know this shit. See, and so the government, actually, the CIA, the government, Ronald Reagan, Oliver North, this other motherfucker Weiner, George Bush, who was because he was the head of the CIA. George Bush was the head of the CIA, I believe, at that time. And when who pardoned who? I don't know if Ronald Reagan or pardoned. Let me see. I'm gonna find out who pardoned. The Iran-Contra affair was a scandal involving. So these motherfuckers brought it to our community. See, in the government, the CIA, the Contra sold dope right there in Los Angeles, and it spread all over the United States. They started the crack epidemic. Okay, so you know, and this your government, supposedly this your government. You see, but this is who's at the table to bring your demise. So when you look and you count all them caskets, and you look at these cities and you see how deplorable it is, and even when the people doing wrong, if you got a government, if you got responsible, this is supposedly a nation. And even if there's some people in your nation, in your family, you understand what I'm saying, that are not doing the right thing, you being a responsible member of your family or your nation, you supposed to speak up, because eventually it will poison the whole goddamn tree. You don't just say, oh, well, they went out. You's a hoe ass nigga. You's a hoe. Well, they just, they did. No, you cut that shit off at the source and give the people, because everybody not built the same. Some people's is weak. Some people, got shit going on in their life. They easily, and some people tricked into doing shit. The kids is doing it. And so you supposed, as a responsible member of your society, you supposed to do what you can to cut it off at the source. And you expose those who are responsible for, allowing this shit to happen. You see what I'm saying? And that's reality. And so these goddamn Mexican cartels have been causing, they worse than goddamn Adolf Hitler's. I mean, let's just be real about it. When you think about, let me see, how many people died? How many people died in Hiroshima? 140,000 to 200,000. You see, 140,000 to 200,000. Do you know how many niggas done died in the United States since the crack epidemic? Do you know how many black people all over the United States done died since the crack epidemic? And you talking about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that shit it pales in comparison to not in the death, but the destruction of the cities. The destruction of the black communities. All these black people that could have been doctors and lawyers and could have been beneficial. Innocent lives that was taken. You see, motherfuckers shooting out and killing innocent people. So I mean, damn, you know what I'm saying? You talking about, man, many of these cities was averaging, man, back in the day, y'all niggas didn't live there. I seen it. You think the murder rates right now, see, they ain't even, because a lot of death done already happened. The cities is, they damn near emptied out. So back then it was a lot of more people in these cities. Detroit was like 1.2 million. It didn't cut in half. You see? Didn't cut in half. I remember back in the day, man, Detroit had 800 murders. And then now back then it was ridiculous. New York had 2,000 murders. Chicago had, you think it was, nigga, back then, Chicago had damn near 1,300 murders in 1 year. Detroit had 800 the same year. New York was over 2,000 murders. Over 2,000 murders in New York City. So you talking about back then, it was out cold. And so all that death happened at it. So now when you look and you see, it's so deplorable, because when you look, you see all of this destruction. Ain't nothing the same. If you would have seen these cities before the crack epidemic, you wouldn't even know it's the same motherfucking city, because it ain't. You talking about, man, listen here, since the crack epidemic in Detroit lost, I guarantee you, Detroit lost probably 60% of the fucking houses in Detroit. 60%. It might be higher. Because, man, it could be higher. That's how many buildings and shit that done been lost in goddamn Detroit. And then when you go to other areas and shit of the United, it's not much different. You see what caused it? Because when we go before that, you was talking about these cities was, peoples was trying to do good. Many of these black communities, you had aspiring greats in all forms of social, socialism, you in education and in music and athletics and shit and all of this. I mean, you had a lot of aspiring people, you know. In 1967, Detroit was the richest city in the United States. The car industry was booming. Then you had the fucking riots of 67. Detroit went downhill ever since 1967. But the crack epidemic most definitely was, the catalyst in doing a lot of damage all over who's responsible for that? The government, the Contras that have been continuing to sell dope and shit into the United States in tons. They bringing in tons, and tons of this shit. Fentanyl and shit. Now that's really poisoning our people. They putting all type of shit in the dope that's causing people limbs and shit. They got to cut their limbs off and shit. And even if they can't speak up for themselves, what are you to do? You gonna let this shit? I mean, because when it get into the community, see, and that's the reason why this shit to look the way it do now, because it's a lot of dumb motherfuckers out there that do not speak up for their goddamn. They thinking that now where you going, bitch? The city fucked up. Wherever you go, the cities is fucked up. Where, you know why? Because there's a whole lot of motherfuckers that sat on their hands and did not say a motherfucking thing, and they doing the same shit now. And you don't understand that that's just not the way to go. It's just not the way to go. You have to cut this shit off from the source, and so you have to identify those that are responsible for bringing this type of treacherous, treacherous acts and shit to our people, treacherous positions of selling dope and shit and all in our communities, and and turning the people into zombies and shit. You got to say something. Ain't no turning, and I don't hear nobody talking about none of that. They don't talk about shit. This shit is irrelevant. That shit is irrelevant. And the motherfuckers that did it to you now today, they walking around here want to fly a flag, a foreign flag, and you ain't got to fly no flag if you don't want to fly no flag. If you're on your independence and you're on your side, you're still here. You ain't got to fly no goddamn flag. But I tell you what, goddamn it, you ain't got nowhere to go. And I don't know how you gonna get there. You ain't got no goddamn where to go. So you better come up with a way to protect your goddamn family. And sometimes because you are attached to other segments of this society, then you had to stand, in certain instances, you had to stand with the nation as a whole. And when it comes to security. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to security, that's just one time, you get, especially if they come in here, because they not going to separate your motherfucking family from nobody else. So if you want to be a dumb motherfucker and say, oh, I ain't, and they come over here and they see your babies and they don't see them no different, and they want to, commit mass atrocities, and you sitting up here acting stupid, want to be an internet motherfucking warrior, ain't got no real responsible plan to protect your goddamn family. You sit up here and you sit on your motherfucking hands acting stupid. You understand? Being a dumb nigga as and not stepping up to the plate when you see the trolls and whores, the doors opening up and they running out. You understand what I'm saying? You don't see this because you blind. And so somebody got to ring the bell. Somebody got to blow the horn. You see, and these Mexican cartels, and I see Trump want to identify them with terrorists as terrorists. Good. Hell yeah. I'm with it. Yeah, I don't agree with everything. I'm just going to talk about what I do agree with. And I'll talk about the shit I don't agree with, but that right there, I agree with. Yes, indeed. Label their ass as terrorists and go to work. Go to goddamn work. As many goddamn people lives they didn't destroyed, and you give a fuck because they identify them as goddamn terrorists. You got these many lives and shit under, that been taken from them because of the shit that you done to the United States, man, fuck that, man. Label their ass terrorists, go to work, close the borders, get these illegal motherfuckers out of here, and ban their ass from flying their damn flag over here in the United States. I believe that. And to my brother out there, QV, to learn, I heard you when you said that. That's all right. You ain't got to fly no flag, but that don't, the soil, man, it's for the sovereignty of the soil. Only when I speak of the security of our families. At the end of the day, we done already went through so much. You know, our people, our children, our women, and our elders need peace. And so we got to, we have to say what need to be said so that they can have security and peace. They want to know that we can make the right decisions as men to make sure that they got security and peace, and they ain't got to worry about going through a whole nother ma'afa because we want to be stupid and don't want to make the right decisions when it's called for us to make them decisions. So I hear you. Yeah, I hear you, good brother. You ain't got to do it because it ain't our flag no way. You see what I'm saying? But we should have one. And just, and I'm red, black, and green. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? That represent that's my flag. You know what I'm saying? That's my goddamn flag. I'm red, black, and green. And that's what team I roll with. You see what I'm saying? And I think, and that don't separate me from none of my my indigenous family. I still maintain first, loyalty to my indigenous family right here, and then I maintain a loyalty to my extended family just as well. You see, and so that's just how I am. So family, will be right back for another powerful presentation. I'm getting up out of here right now. But if you're on here, make sure that you you hit the subscribe button. Don't get up off of here. And if you have not subscribed, then do that immediately. You feel what I'm saying? Make sure you do that immediately. Make sure you like this video so we can get this information out to our people. And I'll be black real soon. Arm yourself with knowledge. Thank you, Ray, for being out there for me, man. I know it's late. Appreciate you. Arm yourself. Huey, appreciate you too, good brother. You see, all my QV, to learn you too. All my moderators, appreciate y'all. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.